everybody, welcome back to Stringman Guitars. Today's episode, my neighbor has a very interesting guitar here. It's a Fender American Toronado, 2003. Anyhow, he needs a setup on it. He had changed the strings and they're doing some fretting out. There's a little bit of fret wear on here, especially in the G and the B from, wow, the 14th, 15th on down. So this is an A to Z how to set up your electric guitar video, and we're going to start at the top. Headstock. The first thing I do when I get the strings off a guitar is I make sure that these are snug. They seem to be snug. You don't want them tight, you just want them snug. You don't want anything rattling around, so that's that. The second thing I do, I will take, and if I could find it, it's too rough, okay, and do a little bit of fret polishing with the fret eraser. These will need re-crowned before too long, but in the meantime we'll just clean them up. You'll notice immediately that bending becomes a much happier event. So use a little bit of a grit, and I go to a 12,000. To smooth out anything that I may have made rougher. So the Toronado, the best guess on my side is Fender's attempt to make their version of a Les Paul Junior. So we have the P90s, we have a Tunematic bridge, which pull off of here and adjust a little bit because it's cranked down. There we go. And you want there's not a right way or a wrong way here. See, how do I want to do this? We're going to do it this way. Okay, we made some room so we can do adjustments. Start high and come down. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is take a rag and some simple green, and we're going to clean up the fretboard. Simple green will not hurt your nitro finish. It won't hurt your urethane finish on the back of the neck. It just takes all the DNA off of the rosewood in this case. Alright, while I'm at it, these P90s look dirty too, so I'll clean everything up. once it's all cleaned up, we get our Formula One, which last two videos I've been begging viewers to send me some. I'm almost out. It's not a fingerboard marinade, it's just a fingerboard conditioner. You rub it in and you rub it off. It doesn't live there. We're not throwing this on the grill later. The other thing I want to do is go and clean around the headstock area. Alright. Now Buddy says he's using 10s, so I've got a set of 10s here. A pair of scissors up here. Gee, Mr. String Man, how do you string an electric guitar with a stop bar and Toronado bridge? You remember these things we had in school? Yeah, they're perfect. So you slide the stop bar in, cram that up in there, get yourself a piece of painter's tape or masking tape, whatever you can grab. Push it in there and tape this down so it don't move. Alright. Doing some 1046 here. This is my way of doing the gotta find the hole. This is my way of doing the stringing. I go to the 12th fret, 4 fingers at the knuckle, and that's my guide as to how much. When I get to the make sure it's in the saddle too. So as I was saying before I got a phone call, when I'm stringing up a electric guitar, I put my hand on the 12th fret, and my tuners, I have the opening of the hole that's facing me pointing back a little bit, and the entry facing forward, so I can pull it. Once I pull this tight so that I have, you know, that about, as you can see in the, if I move the camera back, about that much pulled tight, and I make a Z up here, which is hard to see, but make a Z and grab my tuning thing, pull the loose string up, and this usually gives me 2.5 lines, which is all that this really needs to grab properly. So let me go ahead and finish stringing this up and we'll flip over here so you can see we're using the eraser to hold the stop piece in. What I actually normally do is I'll put all the strings in here first and get it going, and that way, but I skipped that step. Alright, so we're up to the unwound string, and if you can see here, if I move this up, see I'm putting it over my thumb, and that's going to give me the extra winds that I need, because the plain strings don't have anything to grab onto, so they need about 2 or 3 more wraps. Once again, making sure that we're in the saddle. And we're using graphite I put graphite in the nut slots. Once again, I'm making that Z, which kind of helps lock the string. And help to crank it down. My hands are all in the way, but you get the idea. We're getting more winds. We're in the slot, put it under the, oh, that's what I wanted to do. I use Big Ben's nut sauce. It's a dirty name, but it's a great product. It's not cheap, but I'll put a little bit underneath the string tree because well, just because. No, because it's a point of friction. Anything you can do to help your tuning pay dividends in the long run. And I put it towards the nut side of the string tree. Just because by tuning it, it will drag that over the top. Once again, make the Z. Make sure your string stays in the saddle. Okay, so we're all basically tuned up to pitch, and then you want to stretch your strings. Stretching your strings. You're going to stretch them behind the bridge. You're going to stretch them in front of the nut. And then you're going to stretch them in the middle. The wound strings will stretch the most. You might get a little bit of stretch out of the plain strings, but if it is any that you're getting, you are just getting the plain strings to settle around, say, the tuning machines, around where the string passes over the saddles, and in the tuning pegs. The unwound strings really didn't move. So next thing is to get your capo, if you can find your capo, right there. You're going to put the capo on the first fret, and this is a Fender scale. We're going to grab our 10,000th of an inch feeler gauge. Oh, it's upside down. There you go. And we're going to put the guitar in the playing position. And we're going to hold down that 17th fret. And we're going to look for the 7th fret. And we want a tenth of an inch of, or 10,000ths of an inch of relief. And that's right there. I'm not even going to touch that. Okay, so then the next thing you want to do is see if you can get yourself a little piece of notebook paper and see so you get a piece of notebook paper, and you want to make sure that the clearance, there is room between the strings and the back of the bridge. This one there is not. So we're going to raise this post a little bit. And you don't want to jack up your posts. So you're going to take a rag and throw the rag over there. Put the rag in there. And raise your post just a little bit. And check your piece of paper, and it goes through. Can you see that? Yeah. So it just raised it just a little bit, and it does come through on the low E side as well. So we're good there. If this is touching the back of the saddle, you're going to kill your intonation, or your sustain. Okay then, so that's where it needs to be. I don't know if that's where he wants that switch, but whatever. Let's put it back into tune again. Yeah, knew raising that stop bar was going to result in it being put back out of tune. Alright, so let's check our string height. Fender calls for 4/64. Make sure the capo's off. And we're really jacked up, so we're at 6/64, so we're going to take the wheel down just a little bit. Okay, so our strings are all stretched in, and we are at 4/1000. Sorry, wrong fret. 4/1000 and 4/1000. And next is we're going to check our intonation. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting the open string, the harmonic, and everything seems to be intonated. Saddle has to go that way. And anytime you make it sharper, you want to loosen the string. Okay, we got that one. Let's see where the G is. G's on. That one needs to go that way a little bit. Not very much. B's on. E's on. And let's go back and check everything again. Are we still at 4/64? We are still at 4/64. And are we still at 10 1/1000ths of an inch relief at the 7th fret? There you are. We are. Okay. Now we just check for playability. Okay. Looks to be where it should be. Oh yeah. Just check the pickup height. Hold down the last fret, and this little gizmo you can get from StewMac or Amazon. StewMac sells it through Amazon. Oh, that sucks. Oh, there we go. Okay. Too much. Too much. Just right. Do the back one. Too high. Now that's as good as it's going to get without replacing sponges. Let's see how bad it is here. Yeah. That's as high as I can get it. But nonetheless, I'm going to leave some room with this screw so that if that foam wants to, it can expand. So that is what you do to set up a electric guitar. So we've gone restringing, stretch the strings. We cleaned and conditioned the fretboard, cleaned the frets, graphite in the nut. We used some super slippy stuff underneath the string tree, and adjusted the pickup height, intonation, string height, and it doesn't hang up anywhere. Oh, one more thing I wanted to do because I noticed it. That's weird. Oh, there we go. Oh, he's stripped out. Let's put a piece of wood in there and fix this so it doesn't go falling on the floor whenever dude's playing. Take a small piece of matchstick and some tape bond. Just enough. There we go. Take this and jam that in the hole. And put this back in. Now that'll be tight. Let's just check out the front one. That is tight. Alright. That's usually from lack of use there. Okay, it's gone. I'll make sure we do it to all of them. Alright, cool beans. Just want to double check my measurements one more time. With this, make sure nothing moved. It shouldn't have. Nope. We're good. So, that is how you set up an electric guitar from A to Z. And this might very well be my favorite Fender guitar. It's got a great neck profile. It doesn't have any of that whammy bar tremolo crap to mess you up. Set up like a Gibson as far as the switching is concerned. Nice contours, belly carve, and isn't that finish just awesome? I don't know if you could pick up the I don't know what kind of wood. I assume that's either, let's say, it's probably ash. I don't think alder's going to have that kind of grain in it. But nonetheless, that's pretty awesome, huh? So yeah, if you like what you see, if you could subscribe to my channel and like us on Facebook. If you're in the Pittsburgh area and you need your guitar sharpened or your axe sharpened, send me an instant message on Facebook and we'll set you up. Until then, be good to your friends, be good to your neighbors. See you later. Peace.